Tea time with Bodyslams.
Tall John, Big
be
John,
honest with you,
Latin John,
to be honest with
Latin
you,
heartthrob John,
Wait a minute.
Latin sex machine John.
pretty much I am the new age shockmaster. That's what I am.
Jump into my mouth, Brian. I'll eat you. He did bite him in the match. The Raging Crow, Justin Garcia. Jonathan Chavez. V. John Allen. Tea time with Bodyslams. A refined look at grappling.
All right. What's up now, everybody? This is the Tea Time with Bodyslam. A two-team steam train rolling here.
We're just gonna roll on forward until we get to the next car back.
Rolling on the river.
John Allen will return, and
He
let's
will.
all go kill Hitler.
Yeah, and also, if you really want John Allen to return, which we all do, give us your energy. Put your hands to the sky. Don't let Hitler win. Anyway, we went to... Okay.
We just combined a Doctor Who episode and Dragon Ball Z. How do you feel?
Pretty good. Pretty good about
Sweet.
life. I feel pretty good about
That
life.
feels great.
All right, so Jonathan Chavez, the Latin sex machine here with the Justin Garcia, the Raging Crow. So why don't you intro this? Why don't you tell us, where were we last night?
We were at Santino Brothers versus AWS Super Show.
Yeah.
Out in Southgate. Holy shit, this was awesome.
You thought SmackDown versus Raw was hype? You thought WCW versus NWO was hype?
You thought WWF versus the Alliance was hype? Not many people did.
No,
no.
not many people did. No. But this was hype. The epitome, the epitome
This
of
was
hype.
the shit.
All right, let's get the ball rolling with... actually, I can say right here, there wasn't a weak match to be found on the card.
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge.
But you know what? Let's start the ball rolling with someone that all you wrestling marks ought to know by now. The first match, Brian Kendrick versus Che Cabrera, with his manager, Chaz Herrera.
Love me some Chaz Herrera.
Harvey Whippleman.
Fuck you. That's Dr. Harvey Wimpleman, good sir. Okay, before we get to the match, I just want to say, Chaz Herrera, you are an awesome manager.
Yeah, he really has, he just has this permanent, sour, Cuban Groucho Marx disposition, and it's perfect. It's so perfect. But yeah, big ups to Chaz Herrera, probably one of the most entertaining managers I've seen in quite some time. Yeah, actually, in quite some time.
In quite some time. I thought about something right there. I'm like, no, it's him. It's him.
So, let's start with the match.
He's
what do you think
real.
about it?
He's definitely real.
He's pretty real.
The match. So, speaking as somebody who grew up watching SmackDown, my adolescence was SmackDown. Mm-hmm. So, I grew up watching Brian Kendrick as Spanky, and then as Brian Kendrick and Paul fucking London.
That was one of my favorite tag teams. That and what was it? Rey Mysterio and Rob Van Dam, but Rob Van Dam got injured. Oh.
I like Mysterio and Edge.
I forgot that was a team.
That was a team.
There was a lot of good teams. Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah. Anyways, Brian Kendrick coming out, taking on the undefeated Che Cabrera.
That dude.
That dude is a mini tank.
Yeah.
He very much embodies the, short dude who can dish out high levels of punishment, a very high impact style. So, most of the beginning of the match was Brian Kendrick trying to figure out, what the fuck can I do to this guy?
It was a classic bout of speed and, versus power. It was really just a faster, speedier guy going up against, it's a dude trying to swat a fly. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
With a battle axe.
Yeah, and in the end, Che Cabrera sliced himself up a bit.
A little bit. It was such a well-paced, such an even match. Mm-hmm. I love. I'm a fan of Che Cabrera now. I'm sorry I didn't really get to see much of his match during last
at
last
the
show
SoCal WrestleFest.
at the WrestleFest because it just turned into such chaos.
Anarchy.
You're not really watching his match. You're watching the anarchy. So here's my first chance, really seeing this guy up close, and he's killing it, and he's holding his own with Brian Kendrick, who has shown he can hold his own with guys in the WWE, TNA, ROH. So it's such a great time.
Yeah.
And I can't pick a side here because I want both these guys not to lose.
Right. I completely understand what you're saying there. The interesting thing I thought about this match particularly was I haven't seen Brian Kendrick in a bit. For those of you who know me or know anything about people with sanity and normal tendencies, I don't watch TNA. I like keeping my brain cells intact. I like not wanting to go on a shooting spree with the bad shit that's going on. So it's been a while. It's been a long time since I've seen Brian Kendrick because the last time I saw him was Brian Kendrick.
You're calling me insane because I've watched TNA before?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Okay. Fine.
Yep.
I'll take that.
Tell it to your clown gimmick, bruh. That's a little bit of insanity right there.
That's a little later.
Yeah. It's
spoilers.
Spoilers. So it's really interesting to see him back, and the dude has not lost his touch. He has not lost a step. So fantastic. Big ups on Brian Kendrick for really still keeping the same quick pace that I'm used to seeing. And in fact, WWE limits you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So
they don't want you to make the other guys at the top tier look bad. They don't want you to outperform Triple H. They don't want you to outperform John Cena, Randy Orton.
They put a governor on you to make sure, you don't go past 60 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's why guys like Juventud Guerrero didn't last long there.
Yeah. Oh, God. Let's not talk about the Mexicals.
We won't.
That's for another day when we talk about Latinos in wrestling.
Oh, God damn it.
That'll be the conversation we have where we have to mention the Mexicals and the gobbledygook are in the same sentence.
I don't want to. Anyways.
But Brian Kendricks pulls out the win. It's a very impressive bout.
Good God. The super slice bread number 2 off the top rope. That, I thought it was done there. Che Cabrera kicked out, showing what a champion he is.
Lots of just surprises. He's fucking. Why is he still up? Why is he not dead? You should be dead, sir. You're defying the laws of law.
So such a great match. Brian Kendrick pulls out the W in the clutch. Che Cabrera couldn't believe it, but you know what? Big ups to both men. The first standing ovation of the night was not the last.
No, it definitely wasn't. Everyone was sweating in the audience. Brian Kendrick was sweating. Che Cabrera was sweating. Chaz Herrera was sweating.
Saw the stains through the suit.
Saw the stains through his glasses and his suits.
So I just got to say this. Both these men set a bar for the night. Not many people surpassed it, but we will get to that in a moment.
Yeah. The next match wasn't the most physically intriguing specimen of a match, but however, in terms of just in-ring psychology, perfection. This next match was Jekyll's the Jester versus Mariachi Loco.
If you want to learn how to fuck with somebody, you want to watch Jekyll's.
Basically, he's like if you took the Joker and threw in some gold dust and you just put him in the ring versus, Mariachi Loco's this masked luchador who dances a lot. He's
kind of like Fandango and El Fuerte.
No. Who's that other guy?
El Blaze?
No, from AAA. You know who I'm talking about.
Elegido?
Yeah, he's Elegido, and you know it.
No, Elegido you can take seriously.
No, but he grinds his butt in front of people's in the audience.
And Jekyll's didn't give a fuck.
No, Jekyll's mocked him.
Jekyll's was clapping. He's just like, ha, 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 ha. His laugh creeped me the fuck out.
His music was just very low, and it's kind of got that Wyatt feel to it, but with a bit of circus shit thrown in.
I'm a huge mark for horror movies, so I recognized the music. It was the theme from The Puppet Master.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
And The Puppet Master, for all intents and purposes, the later installments.
How do you remember the fucking Puppet Master?
I like The Puppet Master. Fuck you.
Oh my God. I've never heard anyone in my life but you talk about the Puppet Master.
That's a good series.
I don't know how to feel, though.
Well, feel good about it.
Okay.
Feel great.
I feel it.
Feel good, nigga.
Oh, racial slurs all over the place. And Human Tornado was selling at the booth selling merch.
You said it, not me.
I did. I said it. So, yeah, where were we?
Jekylls versus Mariachi Loco.
Yeah, it was very interesting because you kind of got Mariachi Loco, who's playing he's playing the face thing really up, cranking it to 11, dancing in the audience, getting the people getting really behind him, clapping, shaking his ass.
The older Latin guys, clapping along with him, telling to, give it to the weird kid in makeup.
And Jekylls freaking ruins this guy. The thing about this match was Jekylls was really on the offensive for a majority of this match.
Yeah, and Jekylls was really just toying with him at points.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
The first 2 minutes of the match, Jekylls was literally sitting on his ass and still winning.
Mariachi Loco was in a standing position. Jekylls was sitting on his ass. And yet somehow, Mariachi Loco tries to charge him. Jekylls counters him and locks him on the floor into a lock. So you're just like, what the shit?
How does that work?
How did you do that? So it was really it wasn't the greatest looking match. It was a good looking match. But it didn't top Brian Kendrick versus Shea. But in terms of
physicality.
Not in physicality, but in psychology, man, I could not have asked for a better match.
Games for days.
That was a weird pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was. So, no, big ups to Jekylls, big ups to Mariachi Loco. Mariachi Loco got played because finally...
Explain the finish. Explain the finish of the match.
The crowd finally got it into their heads, hey, move the fuck out the way when we're trying to do a dive. Yeah. They finally got it in their heads. They moved the chairs, so they're diving out of the ring, breaking up the count so they can stay out longer. And Jekylls just fucks with Mariachi Loco, having them stay out there till the count of 9, to the point where Mariachi Loco's just like, okay, I'm gonna backdrop this motherfucker. Backdrops him into the ring before he can get back in himself.
And here's the thing about it.
Gets himself counted out.
Yeah, Jekylls got him counted out. Because Jekylls like, all right, please backdrop me. Did a roll, completely just rolled through it, didn't get hurt, and he was laughing the entire time. Just laughing. The crowd was so angry for how anticlimactic it was. I was completely pleased. I was so pleased. I was actually okay with the fact that that's how it ended because I was like, Mariachi got beat. Mariachi was beat the moment he let Jekylls into his head.
The second Jekylls took care of the pace, Mariachi lost.
Mm-hmm. It was over. So, fantastic match in terms of psychology. Definitely one of my favorites of the night. Let's move on to the next one.
I am now a fanboy of Jekylls.
Yes, you are.
Like you are of Scorpio, I'm a fanboy of Jekylls.
Well, I'm a fan of Jekylls too. Like you and I are on the same side here. The next match, Tyler the Butcher Bateman versus Mikey Whipwreck. I mean O'Shea. O'Shea. I know. I like Mikey Whipwreck.
The Celtic warrior from the middle of Kentucky.
Fella. All right, so the one thing I want to bring up about this match, Tyler is the master of counters.
Yeah.
He is literally...
He can play that catch as catch can.
Yeah, my God, every hold, every strike, just being blocked, parried, and returned tenfold. This dude counters like a pro, and he looks like a sir.
This was what it was. Cross counter, cross counter, cross
You
counter,
took the
cross
words out of
counter,
my mouth.
parry, cross counter.
He's pretty much Dudley. He's Dudley from Street Fighter.
He was a skinny Dudley. That was about it.
With a top hat.
He looked like a vaudevillain.
He looks like fucking Jack the Ripper. That's what he looks like. In fact, his name being The Butcher kind of helps.
A little bit. He looks like he would fit right in at a steampunk con.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, the one thing I wanted to note, to make note of, the crowd was really behind Mikey. Obviously, he's the face of this match. But they were like, you don't want to make Mikey O'Shea angry, bro. Like he was the Incredible Hulk or something. And
that Irish anger, that white boy rage.
Hey, man, that white boy's... They got a lot of rage, man.
I would too.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, what else would I be doing in life besides spending my parents' money? Hi-yo!
Oh, Whitey. Kill Whitey. That's why I can't like The Purge.
This is why I couldn't like Chavo as Kerwin White. It was offensive and awful.
Getting back to the point.
That's for another day as well when we talk about Latinos in wrestling.
Getting back to the point.
All right, so it was really. I wouldn't even say this was so much an even match. Tyler seemed to have the upper hand for a majority of this match.
Oh yeah,
really bringing out his striker style. He really likes the locks and the strikes. You know?
Tyler was a very stiff operator. I really do like that about him.
Yeah.
He has that very stiff, I want to say Japanese, European kind of style.
Hard style, very hard style.
That I really do appreciate. The dude was giving it to Mikey, and Mikey put on a hell of a fight. He did not want to lose. He did not want to go quietly into that dark night, but you know what?
And he didn't go quietly.
Oh,
he went kicking and screaming, but...
Eventually he did go. Tyler Bateman with the W. Much props earned. And I can't wait to see. Let me rephrase that because apparently I'm tripping over my words. This is what happens when you skip breakfast and lunch and dinner and have Kahlua for breakfast.
The best part of waking up is liquor in your cup.
Tyler Bateman with the W. Mikey O'Shea. Better luck next time.
Better luck next time. But yeah, like you're a fan of freaking of Jekyll's. I am a major fan of Tyler Bateman. That dude has got counters up the yin yang.
I'm a fan now too, so definitely a lot of merch grabs next time we go to a show.
Yeah, definitely a lot
Jekyll's,
of merch grabs.
get a shirt. I'll buy your shirt.
Jekyll's, get an elbow pad. I need another one. Speaking of elbow pads, I thought I was gonna get the elbow pad in this thing. It's the mixed tag match. I thought I was going to get Ruby Race's elbow pad. And I'm like, yes, I've got a set. I've got a set.
That didn't happen.
No, I didn't. Mixed tag match. Ruby Race and Fern Owens versus Ali Parker and BC Killer. Yeah, we peeked the fuck out of the mic there.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, sorry, Whipwreck. Sorry about that.
Oh.
You know what, Mikey? He likes it. He likes it.
No, Mick Foley, no.
No, please stop. I don't like getting the injures. All right, so you know what you think about this mixed tag? Yeah,
mixed tag. Yeah, it's great to see another match with Ruby Ray, such a dominant force in any women's match. But see her go up against the dudes, she's no slouch.
Definitely not.
BC Killer, it's my first introduction to him. It was great to see him finally. I've heard a bit about him throughout the indies, so I was really happy to see him as well. Finally get to see him in action. Ali Parker, haven't heard much about, but I was impressed. She had a quick, fast-paced game when it came to taking on Ruby and Fern.
Yeah,
Fern, however, and I believe you and me were talking about this, didn't really grab me.
Not in this particular match.
No. Much like Haas Hogg and Sasha Derevko in the last show, I'm sure he has much more to offer. I'm sure I would like to see him in other matches. Just this one, to me, he was a bit of the weak link.
I could tell you exactly what bothered me about this match and why he didn't grab me in particular, because majority of the match was just spent keeping Ali Parker in the corner and wailing on her.
Pretty much.
So, for those of you who didn't know, this is not a WWE mixed tag match where the moment a woman tags in a man, the other chick has to get out the ring, and it can only be two men fighting. So, men are fighting women are fighting men. It's totally cool. The thing about it was, Ali Parker, through majority of the match, kind of was getting served.
She was getting served.
She was getting served by Ruby. She was getting served by Fern. They were really showing, they obviously gelled pretty well as a mixed tag team. They were keeping the ref off distracted so he couldn't see a tag.
They were a really great heel tag team, honestly.
Yeah, really good heel tag team. But the thing about it is I didn't see enough of Fern Owens' chops, his in-ring chops, to really get a good opinion of him.
No, not really. To me, he was Ruby Ray's minion.
Yeah. It seemed like
she was calling the shots.
Yeah. Where it seemed like BC and Ali were holding the match together on on an equal plateau. And the other team, I kind of just felt more like, even though Fern was in the match more, Ruby felt like she was a little bit more of the dominant focus in that match.
She was the ring general when it came to those two.
Yeah. Because Fern was in the match first, and he spent that match being on the receiving end of BC's beatings.
Yeah.
But the moment Ali Parker tags in, she was in the ring for about 7/10 of that match.
Pretty much.
And I think that might have been the one thing that slightly bothered me was the fact that, they were keeping her out of the out from tagging BC, which is a typical work that you do when it comes to tag team matches, keeping one person in forever. But it's
much.
like at a certain point, I wanted to see BC in a little bit longer.
Yeah, I really want to see him. I want to see more of him because, you hear so much about him. He comes out with such a ring presence. The crowd's fucking behind him. He's got his music blaring. He has a weird fucking Wolverine sword blade hanging from his neck.
If you
by
thought
a 6-foot long chain.
If you thought Kano and Kano's blade in Mortal Kombat 1 was awesome, this dude has a knife. I've never even seen what this knife looks like. Like, it is a knife that has a handle that curves into like a C. So I don't know how you're supposed to hold it. Are you supposed to hold it like this? Yeah,
it's
you know what? This doesn't work. It's a visual reference that I'm trying to make right now, and they're not seeing
that translates great on audio.
on radio.
Oh yeah, that translates great over the mic.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I think the only complaint I could have about this match was I wanted to see BC a little bit longer, and I wanted to see I kind of wanted to see Ali do a little better.
Yeah, Ali.
If that's fair to say.
Ali was she was getting owned for most of the match. She put on a quick, fast-paced game for a little bit, but the second she got caught, she got caught.
And she almost didn't get uncaught.
As an intern said, like, she's too little. They're gonna break her.
Yeah, and they busted her up.
Yeah, they busted her pretty bad.
But in the end, I'm kind of confused about. I was also kind of confused about the finish because BC Killer threw Ali Parker on top of, what was it, Fern?
Yeah.
Was it Fern? On top of Fern, and then he pinned him too. So they both were pinning Fern.
It was a double pin.
Okay, all right.
That works when it's a tag match.
Sure. Even though one person's supposed to be in the ring at one time.
It totally works.
Okay. Sorry for me knowing the rules.
Yes, you should be sorry, good sir. Who do you think you are? Who are you to doubt El Dandy and BC?
Yeah.
What does BC stand for?
Before Christ. He's a time-traveling man that goes back and kills people.
He's a caveman?
Yeah. He pretty much was the reason why the Greeks fell.
I thought it stood for British Columbia.
No, he killed Alexander of Macedonia.
No, I thought that was Ric Flair. They were wrestling back.
Ric Flair wrestled him. BC Killer killed him.
Oh,
you thought he
okay.
died from a sickness? No, it was a giant Latin dude with a curved knife. That's where he got the knife from. It's ancient Mesopotamia.
All right, I can work with that.
That would be
totally
awesome.
Sounds legit.
Yeah. So Ali and BC pick up the V.
Pick up the V. Okay.
It was a good match. It was probably my least favorite of the night, but that didn't mean it was bad.
Oh no, by far it was not a bad match.
It was still a good match.
It was a good match, but every other match was at least great.
This next match had me very concerned and cringing.
Yeah,
Not because it was bad, but there was
a spot that had both the Tea Time Crews and both the interns afraid.
And Santino Bros kind of getting a little bit worried there too. Sergeant Major Slaughter, no, his name is Sergeant Major, the Hoorah and Marine Semper Fi guy.
Yes.
Versus Robbie Phoenix.
So I want to say this. Apparently, a little backstory to this match. Sergeant Major has been the heel. He's been the Eric Bischoff, but he can fight. So he's basically been booking all these matches, the way he wants to, not the way Santino Brothers usually does.
Okay.
So Robbie Phoenix, being the Santino Brothers flag waver that he is, comes in to try and take back the power for the true Santino Brothers.
All right. I'm glad you did your research on this, John.
Tea time with Bodyslams.
Always doing research. So I want to talk about that spot though. What was it? Was it a suplex?
It was a belly to belly overhead suplex.
And it looked like and he did it twice in a row.
Yeah.
So it looked like Robbie Phoenix fucking landed on his head.
He did. I was at the right angle. It looked like all of that just landed on his fucking head.
And then everything just stopped.
The entire crowd got silent. You could hear a pin drop. You could hear a child fart.
It was really fucking weird. And Robbie was like not moving for a second.
He was laying still,
Eyes rolling in the back of his head like the Undertaker.
for about half a minute.
Yeah.
To the point where the ref
Is really checking on him.
Yeah, the ref really checked out on Sergeant, and of course Sergeant Major, without skipping a beat, laid the beat down on him with the serious power game. Sergeant Major is no small man, and Robbie Phoenix, while he's no pushover, is more of a submission, technical guy. You know,
he's a wear you down guy.
Yeah, he's a wear you down guy. He's gonna break your mind. Sergeant Major will break your body.
Yeah. Yep. Sergeant Major's basically Bane.
Pretty much.
So, that match was really good, but it was also really stiff looking. Like, really stiff looking.
Oh, yeah. Like that, there were moments where I was just like, these motherfuckers are actually punching each other.
Yeah. And that particular...
It kind of took the Tyler Bateman and Mikey O'Shea match to a next level, where that was just kind of boiling down to almost a fist fight. This was almost a street brawl.
And it was interesting. It was a good match. It was definitely a good match. But Jesus fucking Christ,
Like,
they both took a toll on each other.
Yeah.
It looked like Sergeant Major freaking blacked out mid match. Like after Robbie had gotten hurt, it looked like he just overexerted everything, and there was nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, he went full horse after that, and that was his own fault. He should have thought about maybe a little bit of tactics. Being a sergeant, I'm sure you've served somewhere. They teach you tactics. They tell you not to overextend yourself, and you know what? You did, and you took Robbie lightly, and Robbie pulled out the V.
Yep,
because
Robbie won it.
Guess what? You tapped out.
Yep. The chant of the night, you tapped out. Let's go to the next match. Speaking of tapping, the next match
hold on. For a bit, though, Sergeant Major wouldn't take that, and he took it out on the ref.
Yeah, why you gotta beat up the ref, man? You supposed to protect and serve, like, the weak and shit. The referee can't fight you.
Referee's not supposed to.
You Iraqi sympathizer.
So, next match, thankfully, Robbie pulled out the victory, and, you know, he looked no worse for wear. He did have us worried.
Yeah, he totally had a bunch of us actually were worried. Actually, to go back on that real quick, 2 of the Santino Bros guys actually walked to the ring. Like, they were outside the ring, but, like, they walked to the ring to see if this dude was okay.
Yeah.
Next up, a submission title match. Eli Everfly versus Famous B. What you
God,
think?
this was a good match.
Yeah.
No disqualification submission match.
So you got to see the tarantulas.
You got to see, God, it's this great thing. It's not the tarantula. It's the rope triangle hold. Triangle hold. Like, you just get to see so much innovation when using the rest of the ring, and you got to see a meaner side of Eli Everfly.
Oh, he looked fucking pissed.
This was not fun-loving. Let's do some high-flying bullshit.
This was Eli playing the game he loves the most.
Yeah.
And he loves to wear a fucker down, and it's very interesting to see someone of his size be so capable as a submission wrestler.
Oh, yeah. Little known fact, dude was an amateur wrestler. You know, I believe he did some high school tournaments. I'm not sure if he did college tournaments as well. But, yeah, well-known amateur background. He loves his submission game. So, him going for the submission title was so awesome. And Famous B.
Yeah, Famous B. Well, he showed why he has the title.
He showed why. It was such a close match, and this to me was one of the few matches of the night that matched Brian Kendrick and Che Cabrera in physicality.
Yeah, in physicality, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Eli,
they set the bar, they matched it.
Yeah, absolutely. Eli freaking just zipping around the ring, back and forth, but not doing a lot of his high-flying shit like he's used to, like we normally have seen him done.
Well,
but
not in the beginning.
Not in the beginning.
He did try and pull out more of the stops later on to try and wear Famous B down.
Yeah, but what I wanted to point out was, even though this is a Santino Brothers crowd, which I found interesting, he was still
he was the heel in
it
this.
seemed like he was like the heel in this, you know, like everyone was.
The Eli chants were really not as much as you would want to think. Very few of us, you know, the tea time crew, of course, fully behind Eli, great guy, great in the ring, we're of course going to cheer for him. But a lot of people were going for Famous B.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think it's I think it's the judging the book by its cover mentality.
Yeah.
When you see Eli, he looks like he's 16.
Yeah,
he's
there were
really small in height and weight.
There were a lot of guys in the ring, like a lot of older dudes who are just like not having any of his intro. Like they were just silent during it.
Yeah, and it I think
Old men do not like it when the young guys put on makeup.
All right, no, you're sure. Let's go with that, John.
I look fabulous.
Yeah, let's go with that. But I think it's literally like the judging the book by its cover mentality. But if you weren't a fan of Eli beforehand, this match should have proved you otherwise.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, both of these guys are really just taking it to each other. Submission holds that I have not seen, like freaking what was it? Eli going up the top rope, doing the knee drop onto Famous B. Famous B rolling with it and turning it into a lion tamer.
God, that was so impressive.
Rolling into the lion tamer. That's nuts.
No. To me, that was such an impressive submission spot. But they were outside of the ring for this. Eli going for a suplex, giving up a lot of weight on that. I've never seen him go for a suplex once.
I've never seen him suplex anybody ever. Like ever at all, and he just it was a struggle. It was a struggle. It was a struggle lift, but motherfucker just planted Famous B on the outside. You could hear the thud. Oh, ow!
Going for all those tornado DDTs. He was just trying to do everything he could to get Famous B down, but unfortunately for the night,
Famous B put him out. Famous B made him tap.
He showed why he's the champ.
He wrenched his right arm he
damn
was
near out of the
wrenching it
shoulder.
Out of socket. So yeah, I can't say I wouldn't have quit. I would have quit.
You would have tapped?
I would. No, you know what I would have done? I'd have walked out the ring and been like, "You didn't win. You didn't win. You didn't win."
What are you gonna do, ref? What? Disqualify me? It's no disqualification.
Oh yeah, Famous B did say that. He did say that. That was funny. Let's go to the next match, shall we? This is a women's match for the AWS Women's Championship.
Lufisto versus her student, Hudson Envy.
Now, I have one question for you. Why is Lufisto from Montreal, Japan?
Because she's big in Japan.
But Montreal is not a place in Japan.
I know, but
I think they messed up.
Why is Rasta Lion from Jamaica, Mexico?
I really think they messed up.
But why is he from Jamaica, Mexico? If he could be
because
from Jamaica,
we know the booker. We know the booker. Okay.
If he could be from Jamaica, Mexico, she can be from Tokyo, Montreal, Quebec.
No. Here's the thing, though.
Canada.
What I found weird was she said she's from Montreal, Japan. And then she said Hudson Envy, and then she stammered for a bit. She's like, and weighing in at, how much she weighs. From Montreal,
Canada.
Quebec, Canada. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I think you might have goofed. Unless you're really going for the she's from Montreal, Japan, in which case, that's...
No.
That's weird.
She is.
Montreal, Japan is not a real place. Stop it.
Well, it is in our hearts.
But not in our minds.
Apparently in her heart.
Sure, let's go with that.
I want a t-shirt. Her t-shirt looked rad.
Who, Hudson's or Lufisto's?
Both.
You know what Lufisto reminded me of?
Who?
Al Snow.
Really?
She came out with a freaking doll.
Okay, a little.
And headbutted Hudson with it.
A little.
Head. What do we want?
More headbutts?
What does everybody need?
More headbutts.
Job Squad.
We need more Lufisto versus Hudson, because that was badass.
That was a badass match. Jesus.
Another match, while it didn't keep up with the pace, it kept up with the brutality and physicality of Kendrick and Che.
It was a brutal ass fucking match. Just drop kicking and peeling Hudson's face off in the turnbuckle. Oh man, it was the chest slaps just all day, every day.
Just slapping the nipples off.
So much breast cancer. So much of it. And you know what? Brutal. It was brutal.
It was brutal. It was fantastic. It was great to see a female wrestler who could keep up with the physicality of Hudson.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be your fucking teacher, yeah?
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm a fan. Obviously.
I am a big fan of Lufisto now. I was rooting for her the entire way, but unfortunately...
You know what? We need to bring something up. I think I have become the predictor of winners in matches.
At least
this
as far as
entire
this
night,
show goes.
I was not wrong. I said Hudson's going to win it. You know why? Because I believe in Hudson Envy. I believe in being on Team Envy.
Well, you know what? She showed why you should believe in her.
Yeah, and if you want Hudson to win more matches, all you gotta do is believe.
Shut your whore mouth.
Oh, but don't you believe?
I do, but he has nothing to do with these two ladies.
He should, though. He should.
He would get his ass beat.
Exactly.
She actually did a running Bodog, which was great.
Yeah. Oh, man, she almost did her. Did she end up doing the twat punt?
No. She came close, but Lufisto called that shit a mile away.
She was like, who wants to see a twat punt? And I was like, holy crap, I saw the twat stomp. There's a twat punt.
Shattered dreams like a motherfucker, but Lufisto is just like, nope.
No, not my twat. My twat won't be punted. Not today. What do we say to the god of twat punts?
Not today.
So, yep, you know what? Hudson keeping and retaining her belt, showing that she is probably one of the most dominating women in wrestling today.
Oh, yeah.
Stand by it.
I stand by that. I'll endorse that. I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of buying that for $1, you guys should check out her DVD that has her on it as the death match she did, where she is just wearing the crimson mask.
She is covered in fucking gore and viscera.
Yeah, it's great. Everyone expects gore and viscera.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. All right, next match. Little Cholo and Rocky Azucar Romero versus Los Banditos.
Los Banditos.
Now, I've seen a lot of Little Cholo. I've seen him in UIPW, obviously AWS. Little Cholo's been around.
Yeah.
This is my first time seeing Rocky Romero.
Rocky Romero, I've actually seen a lot from AAA. He had a really good stint there.
Okay.
Teaming with, I want to say Alexander Kozlov. He's this high-flying Russian dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably butchering his name, but yeah, he has a lot of experience tagging with him. And also X-Pac, when he had a stint down there in AAA as well as D-Generation Mex. Yeah, I know. So, Rocky...
Can we actually, before we go into the match, can we call out what Rocky called me?
Carlito!
It never leaves me.
Everybody called him Carlito. People think like, oh, they're making fun of him. No. Justin has embraced that fully.
What's funny, like, I was rooting for Lil Cholo and Rocky Romero. I'm a big Cholo fan. But, again...
Do the Cholo.
Lean like a Cholo. But, here's the thing. I was rooting for them, but when we predicted who was going to win, I said Lil Cholo would lose just because Los Banditos are an actual tag team. Yeah. But I'm still rooting for Lil Cholo because I want him to win.
Yeah,
this woman a few seats down from me is like, "Shut up, Carlito," and I was just like, it's cool, it's fine. Like,
fuck you, cunt.
Like, it's like, what the fuck do you mean is an insult? It's my second name now.
He takes it as a badge of honor. It's like calling me Big Show because I'm tall. Yeah, fuck you. And Big Show and Carlito are awesome.
Carlito is awesome. And you know what?
He's cool.
He's real cool. If you're going to insult me, insult me with something that's not cool.
Yeah. Bring up something new. Get some imagination.
Yeah. You could have called me Joey Chaos. That would have still been a super compliment, though. But we'll get to that later.
Yes,
so this tag match was a literal case of a tag team versus two guys.
It was two individuals versus an established team. And while both individuals are great, their individualism showed.
Mm-hmm. Actually, what was the best part was like where it really showed and where the train started to come off the tracks. Rocky Romero had gotten them both outside the ring. He was building up. He was boiling up a head of steam, really like getting his pace going. He was about to go out for a dive into over the top rope. Lil Cholo on the outside of the ring jumped off the top rope and moonsaulted onto them.
No, it was...
was it a moonsault?
It was a body splash. No,
Well, I thought he moonsaulted because his back was turned to him.
No,
Or
it was.
Did he just switch it?
He just switched it. It was just
I was
a
at a
flying
bad
splash.
angle. I was at a really bad
It was a
angle.
crossbody. It was crossbody.
Crossbody? Okay, so Lil Cholo pretty much beat him to the punch. And you're
Latin
seeing
heartthrob facts.
Yeah, Latin heartthrob facts. And Rocky Romero was not happy about that.
Not even a little.
And then Lil Cholo goes for the drop kick. One of the Los Bandidos members moves out the way, and Rocky Romero gets hit.
You know, can I say this right now though?
Go.
While all this was happening, there was like a 3-year-old kid rooting for Little Cholo and Rocky Romero so hard that he was actually trying to help them up. It was quite possibly the most adorable, heart-melting thing ever.
Yeah, I can see
This
that.
little kid was just like, no, come on, you're my favorite.
You
I want
can do it.
And it was great to see Lil Cholo and Rocky like say like, thank you, kid.
Yeah. So, the match goes pretty much as expected. Rocky turns heel against Lil Cholo.
Los Banditos pick up the W because of the double cross.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, individualism showed here, and egos couldn't be put out the way.
No. And you know what? With 2 stars like Lil Cholo and Rocky Romero, both guys who have, you know, really traveled up and down the world, especially of professional wrestling, you see how both these guys could have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Ego.
Ego.
A lot of ego, big heads. You know, they want to show what they're made of, even if it might be at the cost of their tag partner of the night.
Yeah. And not to say, I've seen Lil Cholo has been a tag champion before.
Oh yeah, and so is Rocky Romero.
yeah,
You know, both guys can work in a team, but you know,
in this case,
they were opponents who teamed together because
Yeah.
they wanted to take on Los Bandidos together.
and Los Bandidos, say what you want about them, they are a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Oh yes, they are.
They are a very well-oiled machine. There's no other way to put it. So yeah, Los Bandidos pick up the win. Good match, really good tag match.
Good match. Rocky Romero cutting a great promo after really taking the boots to Lil Cholo.
I'll destroy all your idols. All of them. Feed me more of your idols. And what was funny was everyone was using the die Rocky die chant, Rocky sucks chant.
And he just kept going. He just kept going like, tell me this more.
Tell it to me from your soul.
It gives me satisfaction. It gives me funny pants feelings.
He's really evil, and you gotta respect that. But yeah, great match, great mic skills.
Yeah, this is actually one
Rocky.
Great mic skills from Rocky. This is my first time seeing both those 2 men at live, so it was really great. Thank you, AWS versus Santino Brothers, for bringing that to us.
All right, and the main event match of the night: Joey Chaos versus B-Boy.
B-Boy.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yep. It's just B-Boy and gunshots. That's all this intro needs to be.
I like his theme song.
It's good.
Really good.
It's fucking good. So, literally, it's AWS versus Santino. Santino's Joey Chaos and AWS's B-Boy. And this match, I wouldn't say the crowd was split. Not 50-50 at least. It was more like 80-20.
80-20. But here's the thing. If it weren't for every Santino Brothers member, they walked out with Joey Chaos in a line, waving the flag, showing support for their leader. If it wasn't for them leading half of those Santino Brothers chants, I wonder how the crowd would have been split.
Oh, I think the crowd would have still been split the same. Reason why is because we're closer to Santino Brothers where we were at.
Most definitely.
So, you know, you got a lot of diehards. And, you know, Santino Brothers put on a great, phenomenal show. But in this case, my predictions went out for B-Boy.
And I wanted Joey Chaos to win so badly.
Joey Chaos is
for
fantastic.
Hard.
He's fantastic. And nobody will ever take that away from him. He's a fucking vet. He's been wrestling for 20
fucking years. And here's the thing. The man, at most, does not look a day over 30. To find out that he's been wrestling 20 goddamn years.
That's pretty nuts.
That's pretty nuts.
Pretty nuts. But
and B-Boy's been a veteran for so long. I believe he's a 14-year veteran.
Yeah. He's been in there for a bit too. So, you know, it was just really interesting because this match covered all the gamuts. It went from a street fight to a pure wrestling match and back again.
To a high-flying spot match.
Uh-huh.
To a power game They
to
ran
a submission game.
They ran the entire gambit.
Yeah.
B-Boy showing a great, almost like a Taz style, just a straight-on killer.
Taz mission. That's all I've got to say.
That Kakina clutch.
Like, first off, I think you and I can both equally say this. We love Taz.
Love Taz. Love guys who follow the style of Taz. You know, your Samoa Joes, your Funkosauruses.
Oh, yeah.
But
B-Boy really, neither of them pulling any punches.
Not even remotely.
They were so evenly matched for so much of this match, they had to keep running the gamut for other styles. It was so interesting.
To try and catch each other off pace, and you couldn't. It was very much like watching like an early Undertaker at WrestleMania match. Mm-hmm. It was so close every time you were 7/8 away from that 3 count.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody was on their feet for almost the entire match.
There was no oxygen left in the building.
No.
Like, everyone was just like, holy shit.
Like, what the No. Like, just going into it. Like, I can't voice how fully I was into that match because my voice is almost gone. I've been drinking tea most of the day because I got work and I gotta talk when it comes to work.
Yep, same here. Yeah, I freaking blew my throat out trying to call that match and trying to really get into it, and I didn't have to try very hard.
Big ups to Trader Joe's for green tea.
Yeah, but that's none of my business. Where is Kermit with his Lipton? But fantastic, like, match of the year. And this was the chant, like, match of the year, match of the year. And that,
holy shit! Like, holy shit! This was awesome. So I want to say this right now: Brian Kendrick and Che Guevara set the bar. Eli and Famous B
met the
Hudson,
bar.
Evie, and Lufisto met the bar.
B-Boy and Joey Chaos
surpassed it.
The bar. Like,
they went
leaps and bounds.
They went beyond it. They couldn't see the bar.
Yeah, there was no bar.
And
they picked up the bar and took it with them.
To say the least, I want to say this. To me, it was a bit of a rushed call, but I can see why the ref did it. Because I believe Joey Chaos might have passed out for a second there.
As far as I'm concerned, Joey Chaos lost.
And he did, and I will take that.
You will, so you won't take my psychic premonitions into question.
No, your deadly premonition. I won't take that.
No, I like deadly premonitions.
So,
it's the greatest.
It's the worst.
No, it's not.
Fuck that game.
No, it's great. Twin Peaks, the game.
It's Twin Peaks and Silent Hill ripoff. So,
if you're gonna rip off anything, Silent Hill's a good way to start.
True enough. But yeah, it was such a great match, and to see that, I mean, God, I was on my feet. That was a great standing ovation. And when Joey Chaos, after he lost, he took the loss like a true champ, like a true vet.
Gracious.
B-Boy shook his hand. With all respect given and
let him
earned.
have the ring. Let him have the ring too. With all the Santino Bros, they let him have the ring.
He walked out. He was just like,
you stay.
Yeah,
this is your time.
And Joey Chaos with a very heartfelt and emotional speech.
For a second, I thought he was retiring or some shit. I was like, oh God, no.
I thought he was doing the same as well. And for a 20-year vet.
Yeah.
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 And he even said it, every year that passes, I start to doubt myself. And if it wasn't for the men and women at Santino Brothers, I would have left a long time ago.
Much love, much respect to Joey Chaos. That dude is
phenomenal.
He is a gentleman and a scholar. He is a sir. He is a fantastic human being in and out the ring.
And if I can say this, the guys at NXT, the guys at WWE, open your eyes. There's a lot more talent to be had if you really want to revamp your product and recoup a lot of your losses. There's
a lot of your losses.
A whole lot of your losses. Guys
$700 million worth of losses.
A lot of these indie guys, specifically guys like Lil Cholo, B-Boy, Joey Chaos, Eli. A lot of these guys could bring so much to the table. Mm-hmm. Damon Devine, SoCal, Jacob the Riot, Diaz, Hudson, Envy, Lufisto.
Shady,
the list goes on and on. Oh my God! You can name so many and leave too many out.
Yeah, absolutely. And
these guys should be there. These guys should have worldwide exposure. Their T-shirts should be bought by kids in middle school again. These are the guys that can make wrestling cool again.
Yeah.
And you know what? Joey Chaos, 20-year vet, says a lot about a man who can train such amazing talent.
Absolutely. So yeah, big ups to this show. Big ups to this show. It was like
AWS versus Santino Brothers. Santino Brothers won the battle, but they lost the war at the end.
Yep. Yeah, but I can't wait to see the next cross promotion.
I can't wait for more. I want to see more. And
feed me more. Feed me more.
On a side note, see you guys at the dojo hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon. See you guys at the dojo.
Most definitely.
But, all right, this is Tea Time with Bodyslams, and that was our coverage. To check out these guys, check out Santino Brothers, check out AWS, but also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends about the Tea Time. I'm Justin Garcia.
I'm Jonathan Chavez, the Latin heartthrob, the Latin sex machine.
I hope you guys have still been keeping your arms up in the air for John Allen. So give him your energy, give him your power.
He will return, and let's all kill Hitler on the same side as Genghis Khan.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Don't let Hitler win.
Because Hitler and Osama bin Laden and the League of Doom have been planning to bomb Narnia. And they need John Allen and the Justice Society of Brazil to fight them alongside El Salvadorian Buddha. I think I killed Justin. Oh God, he's dead. He's dead. Somebody stop the match. He's got a family.
It's not cool. We're out, guys.
We're out. You guys have a pleasant evening and a wonderful morning.
Or whatever time it is this thing goes up. Peace!
Tea Time with Bodyslams.